The movie opens with Jaylen and her husband Kyle caught in the middle of a quiet, heavy grief. She's not just sad, she's broken. They've lost their child, and that loss has taken over her world. Kyle sees this, and he knows she's slipping deeper into that darkness, so he decides to take her somewhere far away, Vietnam, a place filled with beauty, calm, and distractions. They arrive, and Kyle tries everything. He takes her to different tourist spots, shows her the sights, and finally brings her to a quiet wooden cabin resort, sitting right beside the ocean. It feels peaceful, almost too peaceful. At the resort, Jaylen is sitting alone in the cafeteria, calling her mother. On the other side, her mom is worried, asking if she's okay. And Jaylen, she tries to sound strong. She says she's fine. Meanwhile, Kyle is outside, playing football with a few people, trying to keep things light. But right after the call ends, something shifts. Jaylen's mother hears urgent news. A powerful storm is heading toward Vietnam. Warnings are being issued everywhere, but the problem, it's all in the local language. Jaylen has no idea what's coming. The two of them head back to their wooden cabin near the ocean, completely relaxed, not knowing that this calm is about to shatter. Later, Kyle heads into the water for a swim. Jaylen at first is distracted, stuck on her phone, trying to get internet that just won't work. Kyle gently pulls her out of it, reminding her why they came here, to disconnect, to live in the moment. She finally puts the phone away and joins him. Together, they swim into the ocean, deeper and deeper, surrounded by open water and quiet beauty. For a moment, it feels like everything might actually be okay. Then Kyle notices a large rock formation out in the water. Curious, he climbs onto it, but the second he stands up, his foot slips. He crashes down against the rock, injuring his leg badly. That small moment already starts tipping things in the wrong direction. That night, they're back in their cabin. Jaylen looks out and sees dark, heavy clouds gathering in the distance. Something about it doesn't feel right. She turns to Kyle and says she wants to go back home. And for the first time, Kyle doesn't argue. He agrees, calmly. All right, we'll leave in the morning. It feels like a decision made just in time. They lie down, holding on to each other, believing tomorrow will be a fresh start. But the night has other plans. Suddenly, the resort calls them. Staff checks in, reassuring them that it's just a minor storm, nothing serious, something that will pass quickly. For a moment, it sounds comforting, but it's wrong. Out of nowhere, a violent jolt hits. The storm arrives with full force. The cabin shakes. Windows shatter as powerful winds tear through. Water starts flooding inside. Everything begins to collapse into chaos. And then, the unthinkable happens. The wooden cabin they're inside gets ripped from its place. It was anchored by chains, but the storm is too strong. The chains snap. And now, they are no longer at the resort. They are drifting into the open ocean. Inside the violently shaking cabin, Kyle is thrown hard to one side. His leg, already injured, completely gives out. The pain hits instantly. Jaylen looks outside, and her heart drops. There's nothing around them. No resort, just endless water. Kyle, struggling, tells her they need to get out, try to swim back. He forces himself up, helping her toward the window, trying to push her out into the ocean. And then, a massive wave slams the cabin, dragging it toward a giant rock. Jaylen gets trapped between the cabin and the rock. If it crashes, she's done. Kyle realizes it instantly. Without hesitation, he lets go and shoves her out into the ocean. A split second later, the cabin smashes into the rock. Jaylen barely survives. She scrambles out of the water, climbs onto the rock, then rushes back inside the cabin to Kyle. She grabs him, holding him tight. He's in terrible condition, but still conscious. Through the pain, he tells her they'll stay here. Someone might find them by morning. It's not hope. It's the only option. She agrees, but when morning comes, everything changes. Jaylen opens her eyes, and what she sees makes her freeze. The rock is gone. There's nothing but open ocean again. The current has taken them far away. No land, no resort, no rescue, just water in every direction. And now, the reality finally hits. They are completely alone. Jaylen snaps. The fear, the frustration, it all explodes. She blames Kyle, says if they had stayed on the rock, maybe someone would have seen them. Now, no one is coming. In a moment of panic and anger, she jumps into the ocean, swimming away without thinking. She spots a floating bottle in the water. She grabs it and returns to the cabin. Then she notices something else. Their bags floating nearby. She pulls them back in, but just as she's about to go again, something feels off. Fish, a group of them, circling unusually close. No time to think, she rushes back inside. Kyle finds his phone, but it's completely broken. No signal, no help. They're stuck. Then suddenly, a plane passes overhead. Jaylen jumps up, screaming, waving her arms, trying everything to get attention. But the plane keeps going. It never even notices them. Night falls again. They wait, restless, exhausted. Morning comes, and this time, they see something. A ship, far away, but visible. Hope sparks again. They remember how the bottle reflected sunlight earlier. Maybe, just maybe, they can use light to signal the ship. They try something else, a fire. They light a fire inside the cabin, hoping to create smoke. But it spreads fast, too fast. The cabin begins to burn uncontrollably. With no choice left, they jump into the ocean. Floating helplessly, they watch their last shelter, the cabin, slowly disappear beneath the water. Now, all they have is a small piece of wood. And the ocean. Clinging to that small piece of floating wood, both Jaylen and Kyle are completely drained. Their bodies are barely holding on, and the ocean around them feels endless, silent, but not safe. Then Jaylen notices something. Fins, cutting through the water, slowly circling them. A shark. She spots a larger wooden plank drifting nearby. With the last bit of strength she has, she swims toward it and tries to climb on. The shark is getting closer, fast. She quickly pulls Kyle toward her, and somehow, both of them manage to balance themselves across the floating wood. For a moment, everything feels strangely calm. Around them, dolphins appear, swimming playfully. It almost feels peaceful. Out of nowhere, a real attack. The shark suddenly slams into them, hard. The impact breaks their balance, and the wooden planks separate. Jaylen grabs onto Kyle, trying to pull him back, but she can't. He's slipping away, barely holding on to his own piece of wood. Both of them are too exhausted. Slowly, their strength fades, and one by one, they lose consciousness. She opens her eyes, disoriented, confused, and then she realizes they're on a beach. Somehow, they made it. She immediately turns to Kyle, rushes toward him, shaking him, trying to wake him up. No response. Her expression changes. Something's wrong. She checks him again, but this time, it hits her. He's not moving. His body is cold. Kyle is gone. That realization crushes her. She tries to lift him, tries to hold him, but her body gives out. Completely drained, she collapses onto the sand. Everything fades again. When she wakes up next, the sun is already up. She looks around. Kyle's body is gone. The ocean has taken him. And then she sees it. In the water nearby, a shark circling. Right where his body would have been. She forces herself up and starts running toward the shore. But suddenly her foot lands on sharp debris. Something cuts deep into her leg. She drops instantly, pain hitting hard. And then the shark starts moving toward her. This time, she doesn't run. She grabs a nearby rock, and as the shark gets close, she starts striking it. After a few hits, the shark pulls away. Breathing heavily, shaking, she slowly stands up. Blood running down her leg, she tears a piece of her shirt and tightly wraps it around the wound. She drags herself forward, but her body can't take much more. She collapses again. When she wakes up again, something catches her eye. A mountain, not too far. With pain in every step, she starts climbing. It's slow, exhausting, but she doesn't stop. Finally, she reaches the top, and then she sees it. A small boat. Out in the distance, there's someone inside, a fisherman. Without hesitation, she rushes down the mountain and jumps straight into the water. She reaches the boat. Pulling herself up, completely drained, she collapses onto it. She spots a large bottle nearby. Without thinking, she grabs it and takes a big gulp. But instantly, she reacts. It's not water, it's alcohol. She coughs. She tries to explain everything. What happened, what she's been through. She even shows him her leg, but he doesn't understand her. Different language, different world. Still, he sees her condition, he sits her down and begins treating her wound. Using alcohol, he cleans it, and then, with a fishing hook, he carefully stitches the injury. Jaylen screams in pain, but she doesn't pull away because she knows this is survival. As soon as it's done, her body gives in again. She falls asleep. The fisherman leaves her resting on the boat and goes below, starting to pull in his fishing net. Everything feels quiet again. Too quiet. Suddenly, a violent jerk hits the boat. Jaylen wakes up instantly. The boat is shaking hard. She looks around. The fisherman is gone. Panic sets in. She calls out for him again and again, and then she sees it. A hand floating in the water, covered in blood. It's his. The boat is stuck in place, and without wasting time, she grabs the rope and starts pulling. The fisherman is still alive. Barely. He reaches out his hand toward her. She grabs it, but suddenly, something yanks him down, hard, right back into the ocean. She dives in, fights her way back onto the boat, breathing heavily. And then, he appears again, right beside the boat. She tries to pull him in, but this time, the shark attacks, violently. She keeps pulling the rope, desperately trying to save him. But the shark comes back again, faster, more aggressive. Realizing she has no time left, she turns on the boat's manual motor. As the shark charges toward the boat, she swings the motor with full force straight into it. The impact pushes it back. But it's not over. The shark circles again, even faster now. She tries to restart the motor. It fails. The shark slams into the boat. The entire boat flips. Everything goes underwater. The heavy anchor stone tied to the boat starts sinking, dragging everything down. Jaylen grabs onto the rope, using her legs, trying to fight against the pull. The shark is coming again. Closer, closer, and right at that moment, she makes a desperate move. With everything she has left, she forces the heavy stone upward and drives it straight into the shark's mouth. The hit is brutal enough to stop it. The shark sinks, disappearing into the depths. Jaylen struggles back up, flipping the boat upright with whatever strength remains. She climbs on. She looks around, and then land, not far away. And this time, she's not alone. There are people, fishermen. They've seen her. After everything she's been through, every loss, every moment of fear, every second of fighting, she finally reaches land.